Short video on stop motion. I'm using a clip from group 2. This is a shot of Paige just walking, as lockdown camera just walking in front of Misha here like this. And if we want to do a stop motion effect, it's dead simple. I just go to effects here like this, and the effect I want is called posterise time. So just start typing in the words there, chuck it in there like that. And if you've got the effects tab open, there's the clip, is the effects tab. And click the clip itself, you'll see it adds some controls for this. You can mask bits that you want posterized, but we're just using it as is at the moment. The key thing here is the frame rate. Now it defaults to 24, which already, because if we look in our project bin at this clip, we'll note that it's shot at 50 frames a second, so it'll already be slightly off. It's dropping quite a few frames there, although 24 frames is still kind of believable motion. But what we want to do is push that a bit more. So I come up here, and as you can imagine, if I drop it down to 6 frames, this is red at the moment, so obviously this is not rendered, but you should be able to see the effect. And we could drop it down to 2. I'm going to just suddenly thought, can you put decimal points or something? So and you might want to cue it up. I know this is a particularly rhythmic piece of music. You might want to actually cue it up so those frames coincide with the beat of the music. That's for you to kind of find. I just want to know if it does 0.5 per frame. Looking good. Although we don't see much of it, but it's just interesting to know, I guess. I think you can do that. So 2 there like that. The other thing you can do, taking advantage of either blend modes and or opacity, is that I could take this clip, move it up to the track above, and then if I hold down the Alt key, I can just put a copy below. So now I've got 2 versions of the track. Obviously at the moment, I'll just see the top one, because the top one is the most visible there like that. But because I've copied it, it's also got the posterized time effect on. So I've highlighted the lower clip, so I'm just going to click that, delete it, so now it hasn't got it on it. And if I was to just solo that by turning off that track, you see there's Paige going back at normal speed. Turn this back on, can't see her. So very simply go to the top one and reduce the opacity. So just to demonstrate the purpose, if we hold that at 50%, we'll see both, and we'll get this kind of ghosting effect, and we could layer multiple ones of those. I guess we could, let's see what would happen if we went like this, chucked a third one up there, option and up. Right, so now we've got a third one. Has that got the opacity on it? Yeah, 50%. So we will probably want to tweak the opacity so we can see all 3 of them. But we could, because the shot's fairly static, is we could displace this in time a bit further as well. So then we get multiple instances of place triggering through the scene. In fact, we could turn off this track altogether and keep layering that up until we're absolutely sick of doing it. Try and get the same option key, not the there. So I've turned off the bottom one, so now I'd probably want to fine tune the gaps between them so it looks more kind of regular. You notice that it's slightly out, and tweak the opacity as well so that would particularly work. But that's how you do posterized time. There's any number of ways in which you can alter that. When we get onto After Effects and expressions, it's the kind of thing where you could keyframe the opacity or maybe the frame rate and drive that from the music itself. But I just want to keep this short and simple. But stop motion, just use posterized time and go from there.